So last time we developed an application in which we see that how we can we have this main, and from this main activity how we can start a number game. That is the activity in which we are showing two different numbers to the user and then asking to select or click on the bigger number. We will, if the user is right, then we will award him 5 points. If user is wrong, then we are giving them minus 5 points. And similarly, we also add another activity that was add numbers, and that actually this will activity will add these two numbers and return back the answers to our main activity that will display that particular specific number here. So we try to look at how we can start an activity and how we can start an activity for results. So now what we want, that we want to add inside our activity. What is the main activity? Game activity. Add number, we don't want to look at that. So inside that particular specific activity and inside the main activity, we want to change these activities in such a way that whenever the first time when the user give the name, we are going to save that particular name inside our preferences, and the next time whenever the user starting that particular game, we will show that particular name to the user, and user don't need to enter his name again. Okay, because we remember that we have implemented in that particular click event, that is the start. Where is that particular specific add numbers on stop? Okay, yeah, start number. So we are checking that if the user has given some number, some name, then we are going to start the activity. Okay, if the user has not given us the name, then of course we are not going to start that particular activity. So definitely user every time need to give the name. He has given first time, so next time we need, our application want to remember that particular name and don't go into that particular specific scenario that user has not given the name and we are not going to start the activity. And inside our activity, number activity, the game number game activity, we want to save the highest scores. Again, inside the main activity, we are going to save that particular information inside the shared preferences which the multiple activities can share, and inside our game activity we want to share the information or save the informations of the highest score inside the private preferences. Only this activity can access it. So we will have the both flavors of the shared preferences and the private preferences. Okay, so that's what we want to do. For that particular purpose, what I need another text view here. I have already created it, so you can just see that I have just put it over there. So I have that particular highest text score, giving the ID. Again, we are setting the highest the text, selecting the size, putting some constraints on the positions, what will be left and the top margins, and so on. So we want to show that highest score here. Okay. So first of all, we need to, inside our activity, on create activity, okay, we want to read those informations. So we say that shared preferences, shared preference is equal to new shared preferences. Okay, sorry, we need to see that how we are going to create it, huh? So let's go back to our, what we are saying, that get shared preferences, not create a new one. We need to set get shared preferences, and look, it has the method here. If where's my cursor? It's not visible. It's working somewhere, but not showing up me. Okay, so let me go back. We have it here. Yeah, now it's showing up. So shared preferences. So if we look at that, we have the name and the mode. So we can say that, and then here we need to provide a string. In the slides, if we look at that, I have that particular shared preference. I have defined that particular specific shared preference constant value. So we can define something like this here, like we can say that make it static so that every other activity can also access it. Final, and then we have a string, and then we can say that shared underscore ref underscore name is equal to what? Shared underscore ref underscore name. I'm giving the same, so I can just use that particular. Again, my cursor is gone. Okay, and I bring it back here. So I can give the shared preference name. That will be my first argument, and the second one is the mode underscore. So look at that. We have, when you type mode, we have certain modes. These lines, these mean that these specific modes has been deprecated. Deprecated mean that they are no longer recommended to be used. So we try to use the one that is available right now, or it is recommended to be used now. Private mean it is only this application can access that particular specific shared preference. And the other thing is we have the shared preferences dot editor. We need that particular editor, and then we have shared preferences dot edit. So when you call this particular method on this particular variable, it return me an editor, and using that particular editor I can write the information inside it. Editor dot put. What I want to put? I want to put a string. Okay. For put a string, again, what I am doing, I am trying to do that thing right at the onCreate method. When this application is going to run for the first time, there is no username over there. Again, we try to go and give that particular static final string, and then we say that user underscore name underscore ref. Maybe I can just try to save the same information inside my as a key. Username ref. So we can say that user name ref, and then we are trying to get okay, here we are trying to we should be trying to read it, not write it. Okay, so let me save this information for the later on. Here we are trying to read that information, and the other thing is we already have that particular specific input field name find input field, so we can say that okay, inside the name we want to set text, that particular specific input field in which we want to put that name. So how we want to set that value, but from where? From the shared preferences dot get string, and you also saying that give me the default value. Okay, so get string, and here I can use the username preference, and then default value is nothing. So what will happen? For the first time, when it will try to read that particular specific information from the shared preferences, that does not exist. So only default value come inside our, or nothing, null value will come here. Fine. This we will need to do, but in a whenever the user has given the name. Where is my start act number? Yep. When the user has given the name, he has clicked on the start button, or we can also have something like this. Whenever is change the focus, it will starting that particular. But let me make it here on the start game. Okay. So again we say that we want to have a shared preferences. Shared preference is equal to get shared preferences, and we have the shared preference name, comma, mode private. So now we have read that particular specific, and now we are going to get that particular specific editor. Okay, so we can say that editor dot put name, and then now we are going to get, we have already have that name str. Okay, so that is going to, because we have checked it before, it is not empty. If it is not empty, it means the user has given the name, it wants to start the game. Okay, so name has given, started the game, that particular name is going to save under this particular key inside our shared preferences. And then again at the end we are saying the editor dot commit, and we are all done. Fine. So first step, we are creating or opening that particular shared preferences, getting the editor from that particular shared preference, and then we are putting that username inside our shared preferences, and committing mean that if in case it is only inside, it is not written in that particular file, it will be written in that particular file. Okay, and then of course we are passing some information to the next, so we will get that thing. And let me add one more thing here. We are also putting the name key here, so that's fine. We also already have the name over there. So let me go back. So now we are done with the shared preference in the main activity. Now let me go back to the here and then see what we are doing here. So we have the scores. Are we using that particular username? We have the username, find, and then we have username.txt, username.setText. Hi, we are using that particular name over there, so that's fine. We don't need to do anything else. Is it fine? Now again, as you know that, what we will do, we will again create a shared preference. Now we are not even going to use the get shared preferences, we say that get preferences, and here if you can see that only you need to give the mode. We don't need to give the mode because it's a private preference for this activity only. So we can say that mode private, and we are done. Now we are going to trying to read the information, highest score. So let me put one more, not tag, yes, we also have the highest text, but we also have that one, highest score. Okay, we also want that particular integer value, and then we also had this, so we need to initialize that particular specific highest text is equal to find by view id r.id dot high, okay, highest score text. Okay, now what we want to do, we want to set the text in that particular highest score. Set text, first thing is highest score, and then we can give that particular value that is going to come from our shared preferences. So we say that shared preferences dot get int, okay, and then we are giving the default value. The first value is the name. Again, we can define that particular specific final int, and then we can say that, okay, HIGHI EST underscore score is equal to, sorry, we need to make it a string, not integer value. Okay, sorry, HIG
come first before the
GH highest score, and then let me keep that one here as well as a string, and at this particular string we are going to use as a key here. Okay, so we are saying that highest score, that will be used as a, let me put it over there. So we are get the integer. If that highest score exists in our shared preference, then we are going to use that particular value, otherwise it will return me 0. So that will be set inside our highest score text. Opening it and reading it. And whenever the user click on the buttons, left click or the right click, we need to check that if that new score that we have gained, it actually become the largest than the highest score or not. If it has become largest, we will replace that thing inside our. So we are trying to make another what you can say that a private method. It does not return me anything. Set highest score, okay, and then it does not take anything. The reason is that we exactly know the scores is there. Highest scores, they are the global variables, we can always compare with them. So we can say that if scores is greater than highest score, and then one more thing, what we can do, okay, let me take this out of this one, and then I put it here, and then I'm just putting the highest score is equal to this, whatever that answer is, it will be saved over there, and then here we can just use that particular highest score. Fine. I mean, we are reading the files data from the private preference and saving it in the highest score at the onCreate method. Clear? And then now we are just checking that if the scores is greater than the highest score, not text, then we are going to change. If the score, the current score has become greater than the highest score, it will change the information inside our preference file. So again, we can say that we have a shared preferences. Shared preference is equal to get preferences, okay, and mode private, and then we can say that we need the editor shared preferences dot editor is equal to shared preferences dot get or dot edit, okay, and then using that particular editor we are going to put into again we have the highest score, that will be the key, and then we are going to put the highest score inside it, and then editor dot commit. We can also make that particular specific thing because we are already doing it here inside our shared preferences. So we can say we can make it a global variable and put it here. So in this way I can access that particular shared preference. I don't need to create it again. Okay, so I will just open that particular editor and we can commit, and then of course we need to put a semicolon here. One thing is clear, that preferences and shared preferences and the private preferences. So on the create method we are opening that particular shared preference, we are reading the highest score if it is available there. If it is not there, of course default value come in and the highest score will become 0, and that will be shown on the screen. And whenever that highest score is going to change, that score becomes greater than this one, but of course we need to call this particular method. Where we are going to call this method? Whenever we are increasing the scores, we are need to check. Okay, so we are increasing on the right click button, we have this particular, so set, not w, set highest score. The same thing we need to do over here as well. Wherever we are changing, on the left click, set highest score. Okay, so we are calling this particular method in both. Whenever we are increasing the scores, it will always check with against the highest score. If the highest score, current score, has become greater than the highest score, it will always go back and change that value inside my preference. This is the one way to handle it. You understand? It's a one way to handle it. We can also have something like this. And what is that? Can you think about it? Like every time I'm clicking, like it's first time is 0. Every time I'm clicking, it is going and changing the information. We are performing something. I mean, what we can do? Life cycle methods, which is a more efficient way. Only one time we need to do that.
That's it.
On create, we are reading the information. On we have those methods. No, we are talking about, let me see. Where we need to put over that particular specific code only one time. Maybe we can put that particular specific on stop, okay, or maybe we can put on destroy. So again, depending on if you are stopping and starting that particular activity again, and then you want to access that particular specific, so it's better that you put it on stop, because on destroy is something which is not going to be covered. If you are coming back to that particular activity again, then of course it is not going to show you the real scores. Let's put it on destroy and see what's happened. So we are trying to on destroy method, and instead of putting that particular we are calling that particular method here set highest scores, and we are not calling that particular scores here on every click. On every click, even we are not calling that particular method. Fine. And one more thing I want to see that I am in the log.d, and we are saying that life cycle, and then we say that in on destroy method, and I copy this thing for myself. I also try to implement a few more things like on stop method. Again, I'm putting that particular thing, and only just I'm changing it here on stop method, and then we have on restart method. Okay, so when it is on restart method, again I'm saying that this thing, and then we are saying that restart method. We can also have that one, not this one, on pause method. Again, we are saying that we want to have that on pause method, and then we can also have not here on resume method, and then we are saying that I'm just trying to print those information inside my log. Okay, so resume method that we want to use. Okay, now remember that we have put it in the on destroy methods. Fine, and then whenever these methods are being called, it will put those informations inside our logcat. So we can put this value here so that we can see actually these values are this is happening over there. So all set, I suppose. So let's see, run that application and see what's happening. So let it start and see if it is doing what we are expecting it to do. Waiting for the target device to come online. I think Android is starting installing the APK. APK mean we also have those. Okay, that particular specific. So here I give the name. What happened? Hello. Where's my? Yeah, maybe I think stop responding to me. I put that full name over there. A S. Yeah, it's not. S. Okay. So when I click on the start game, it stopped that particular specific noise. But look at that highest scores 0. If I just go back here in my game activity, I just put the highest scores, not highest score 0. So it has changed. Okay. So let me play that game. 460, 527. Oh, okay. 491. 690. I mean, that's difficult game that we need to play. Okay, okay. Yes, yes. I think that's quite enough. We have 40 marks, but still the highest score is 0. Okay, fine. So let me do one thing here. Number one thing, it is going out of the screen. We need to put that particular specific scrolling facility here. Okay, so that's another fine. We have the constraint layout. Inside the constraint layout, we are putting that scroll view. We say match parent. Again, I say match parent, and then I am trying to put. I'm just trying to create another constraint layout inside it. Constraint layout, match parent, and then we are trying to put each and everything, whatever in that game activity is inside this one. So, and let me run that particular application again. I hope it will be fine. Put it back straight. Okay, we need to say, okay, what happened? Starting the new one? Starting the new one. Anyway, so whatever it is, wherever it is, we will close the other one. It is coming down here. Okay, so I just close it down here, and then here I give the name, and then I say that I want to start. Where's my cursor? Where's my cursor? I click on the start game. Again, look at that. The highest score is 0. Wow. Not working, I suppose. Anyway, so let's see. 983, 984, 856. Yeah, it's a different mobile, so that's why. If we try to run the, I mean, I have closed it down. I will show you. So 498. Okay. This is a different mobile, so that's why the highest score is being changed. Huh? Okay, fine. 690. Okay. It stopped responding to me, I suppose, now. Again. So we have that 25. Let me make it 35, not 40. Okay. And now what I do, I just try to change that particular specific like this. Everything is working perfectly fine, but look at that. Where is my scores? Where's my score? That is the problem with the change of that particular specific, you know, the orientation from the portrait mode to the landscape mode. Actually, this particular specific activity has been destroyed, and I can show you. Where is my cursor? Again, uh, I think I am running that particular. Here I have that my cursor here. So we come down here. So if I just try to look at my emulator and look at that, did I mean, I write these things inside our main activity. So we have on resume, on pause, on stop, on destroy. On destroy method has been called. And the other thing is, when the on destroy method is called, it should have saved my preference. But why it is not saving it? It show me on destroy method is called. Okay, if the on destroy method is called, I want to wait it. Then it should have saved that particular specific, because we are saying that in on destroy method, it showed me in on destroy method, it should have called that highest score. So if it should have highest score over there, then it should have called like scores is greater than highest score, and the preference is dot editor, and everything is commit. And next time when it will come back here, it should have been where is that one? Where we are reading that? Yeah, here. It should have read the file. Okay, why it is not saving the in the preferences on destroy method? Let me also put that particular specific thing in the on stop method as well, because it is calling that particular on stop method. So I'm calling that set highest scores. Okay, so when it is setting the highest score, it should be, and let me play back, run that particular. I just try to use this one so that I don't need to click on it again and again. Maybe we can make it like that. So look at that, my name is already coming up. It means that is saved over there. Okay, but my highest score is still yeah, highest score is still there. So let me uh, play some game. Now it should be this one. I just try to make it like that and see if it is highest score is still, I mean, it does not allow me to save the information inside the shared preferences inside our life cycle methods. That's very strange. It should happen. Okay, so let's stick to that, the basic one, huh? We have that particular highest score method inside our click events, okay, and make these methods for the time being this one, and then I will try to find out the answer why it is not working. And then if I just trying to do that again here, now we don't need to get that name again and again. Okay, so we have again highest score is this. Okay, 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 let me see, let me turn it around. Wow, what's happening? Are we missing something? We are trying to read the highest scores, and that highest score is actually the highest score. Okay, that's our key value that we are trying to read from our shared preference, get integer value. Okay, and then what we are doing in our that method, we are saying that we have the shared preferences dot editor, we are getting the editor, we are putting the integer value, again it is the highest score, and we are putting the highest score. Okay. Are we changing that highest score at some point? It is by default 0, it is still remains 0, sorry. So whenever we are testing this thing here, uh, if the highest scores is greater than the highest score, now we need to say that highest score is equal to scores, and then we are need to know, because we are not changing that highest score, it's always 0. Okay, so now let me make these, let me work with those methods which are trying to use it here. Okay, so I'm just putting in it on destroy method. We are not changing the highest score. Wow, it's happened, that thing's working fine. Let me 75, 970, 380, 52. So let me go back. Let me go back and start the game again. So the highest score is coming. That's fine. The other thing is that score is gone. Like if I just play that game here, 6, 803, 923. Try to make it more than this one, 30. Okay, and then I do that one again. If you look at that, my score is gone again. Highest score is 30, fine. On destroy method, it's right, that particular information is over there, perfectly fine. Whenever that on destroy method is called, it will run that one. But we also want to make sure that we are like calling this particular on the on stop method. For example, I will show you that because on resume method. Okay, fine. Let me go back here like this, and then I play the game. Change that particular highest score. 493, 181, 792, 503, and 927. It is 35 now. Now I say that I'm opening some other activity, and then I say that I want to go back. Still not changing anything. So it is not changing it. Okay, the other thing is if we want to make that whenever we come back that score is being changed every time, then we have to implement that in the on restart method, this particular lines, these lines, when we are reading the informations. We initialize only one time because we have already initialized, so we have to put that particular inside the on stop method. On stop method we have put it over there. So if I just try to unlock this one, and on restart method I put these lines. So let me run that application again, and then you will see the difference. On restart it is reading the data, so we have the right score because we have not, destroy method is not called when we just run it. Okay, 789, 798, 611, 316, 813, that 35. So let me know now, go back here. That simply come back here, come back to this one because it was invisible. Look, change. It is calling that particular on, like here, look at that. It on stop, on restart, and on resume method is being called during that whole process. When I just minimize that application and turn it up again. Okay, so these are the different methods. The thing is, whenever we are going to from this way, it destroy, whenever it destroy that particular activity. When it destroy that activity, and then when we are calling back again, it will restart. Look at that. If we look at that, we have that particular on restop, on pause, on stop. It is calling on pause, on stop, on destroy, and then again it is calling the on resume method. So actually look at that. It inside our on create method we are saying that score becomes 0, and we are not initializing it anything over there. So that's why inside our application the scores is there. There's nothing over there. How we can solve that particular problem? Again, look at that, simple. We can put the scores whenever, like in the on stop method or on pause method, all of them, we are trying to save those scores inside our preference, just like we did for our highest score. So we are not only putting the highest score on restart, we are not reading the highest score from there, but we also put reading the scores. So let me create another one here. Score. Okay, and then we are not saying that scores equal to 0. We are saying that scores become, we need to make it below this one, get preference, and then set text. So we are saying that scores is equal to shared preference dot get int, and then we are giving the score, and then default value is 0. And then we can also say that scores text dot set text scores plus scores. Okay, that's one thing. We are reading the information, and then the same thing we need to do in our on where our methods are. Highest score, okay. Highest score, find, set scores. Okay. We on stop method, we need on restart method, we are going to put that one over there as well. And then we can also have on resume method, we can also put it over there. Let me make it only with the on restart method. Okay, we have only restart method, and then on the on stop method we are not only putting the, we are saying that shared, like let me put the highest score, I put over there as well, editor dot put int, and then we have score, and then we have scores. We also putting that particular scores inside our private preference. Fine, is it okay? And let's finger cross run that up project and see if it is working or not. So it scores in the beginning was saying that, so we let's play. 481, 693, 845, 946, 792, 878, and then I just turn it around. So look at that, it is giving me the scores correctly. Fine. So that is how we can use that. So let me start my other tools. We have the Android virtual devices. I want to play that one. 27. I think because we didn't change that scores, so it will not going to work over there. But anyway, so we have, so that is what I wanted to discuss here. Okay, so if you look at that, we have the activity transitions. So that's exactly happened. Current state of the activity, which boxes are checked, state types, in what you have written down in the input fields, what are different values of the variables. When you make the transition from the portrait mode to the landscape mode, or you go to the other applications, or you are from portrait mode you are converting back into this one, so that will be going to change. It will not be consistent. Maybe it show you a different Ninja Turtle character, but selected a different what you can say that selected a different checkbox or radio button. Okay, so again, score's gone. Score becomes 0 automatically whenever we are transitioning from the portrait mode to the landscape mode to portrait mode. The scores are changing. They are again restarting or resetting itself to the 0. Okay, so we can save those instances using the preferences, maybe using the bundles, depending on how you are implementing. Maybe you said I want to save in the database and then bring that back into the database. Fine, totally up to you. But shared preferences for the simple information that we have highest score, the username, and then the scores. We can just put those simple information inside the preferences, and whenever we are resuming it, whenever we are restarting it, or whenever we are creating the application activity again on create, we can read those information back and we can maintain our state of the activity. Okay, so let me now stop our, where is my cursor? Let's stop our video. Okay, I say this, and now I can